Hey, hi guys. How's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just trying to show a little bit more of the table, the cards, and everything. All right, so I hope everyone is doing well, and this is going to be a general reading for Pisces. I saved the best for last. What can I say? No, but I do apologize for the lateness, Pisces, but it all is divine timing and, of course, based on my other work schedule. But I wanted to get your reading out, all right? It's definitely today. So this is a timeless reading and a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., money, all forms of abundance, all right? And it is timeless, meaning for some people it may resonate before or after the original timestamp of March 19th through April 19th, so it could resonate for some people, 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future, a year in the past, a year in the future, vice versa, or more or less, either way, all right? So whenever you do see this reading, hopefully there will be a message here for you, and all are welcome, as we all have Pisces somewhere in our chart, and we're definitely, at this time where I'm filming this, on April 9th today, we do have Venus in Pisces. It's already been there for a couple of days now. It went in... Venus entered Pisces on April 5th. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes over there. So we've been, in this kind of placement with a lot of stuff going on with Pisces energy. Venus is usually your area that talks to you about what your love language may be or how you interact in certain relationships. And also, I always tell people to check their other placements if you don't already know and already do that, right? Because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your sun sign, with your moon sign, your rising sign, and then, of course, you can always check your north node for matters of career or life purpose, and then Venus, right, for love and higher forms of assets and money, okay? Just as an example. So you can do that just by Googling free birth chart online. Even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can still find out some of your other placements. I believe you can't find out like your ascendant or rising sign or moon sign per se, but you can find out where your Venus is in as far as which zodiac sign and some of your other your planet's placements in your zodiac chart. Okay, so anyway, I pulled all of your cards here, and we're going to get into your reading in just a moment. I wanted to say welcome to everybody, right? Whether you've been here before or it's your first time, welcome. All are welcome. I did want to mention, too, that I do take one photo at the end of all the cards here on the table in case you want to see it more up close and detail at a later time. So I'll try to mention it again at the end, too. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on just how to find it on my Facebook page. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered all the stuff I wanted to briefly talk about in the beginning. If not, hopefully I'll remember it later. So let's go ahead right now and do a quick sound bell for some grounding and healing for the reading for you guys and for myself. So just be aware it is a little bit loud. Hopefully not as loud as before. I got this little felt thing on it. But anyway, if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen as well, whatever feels right. All right. All right, guys. I'll put it over here just because we got lots of stuff on the table already. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set this timer just so I generally kind of have a rough idea of what time it is. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the placements of the cards real quickly. So we're going to start in the center like I usually do, and then we'll work outwards to your tarot confirmation cards. And then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck since I'm using two different decks. And at the very end, we also have two little oracle cards here as well. All right, so as we get into this reading, if you find that it doesn't resonate, it could be about the person you're dealing with or multiple people that you're dealing with, or it just doesn't resonate at all, which is totally okay, and it happens from time to time, right? So it just means that it may not necessarily be your reading. So that's why I always encourage in the beginning, like I said, to check your other placements because there might be a message that you resonate more with your moon sign or your rising sign, on all of that. All right. So when we talk about this first row, this is energy, that could be, especially in the first three cards, energy from the recent past, and that will be different for everybody. It could be a couple of days ago, it could be a couple of weeks, months, years, etc. Right. But also when we talk about this first row, this can be energy. As an example, we were saying around March 19th through March 31st, so the last 2 weeks or so of March is in the first row. The second row is, or can be, energy around April 1st through April 9th. Again, it's not exact, it can be a little before, a little bit after, in between, whatever, right? And then the third row right here is where we are now, depending on when you're watching this, of course, but this would be around April 9th through April 19th, so the next 10 days or so. Okay, so let's go ahead and call out your cards here and then go in order. So you have the Two of Sacred Circles, also known as Two of Pentacles, in the right side up position. We have the Hermit in the right side up position. And actually, let's stop just for a second here. Because I usually want to talk about it in the beginning. You did have 4 major arcanas that showed up in your reading this time. So not as much as some of the other signs, but it's not a competition and it doesn't really matter, right? So it's just talking about the majors. A certain amount of change could be happening. And then of course, I talk about which zodiac signs we see with the major arcanas. So I said the Hermit, right? So that's Virgo energy. We also have Gemini energy. We have Pisces, a little bit of your energy. And then we have Capricorn. Okay, so what does that mean? It could be that you're dealing with one of those signs, or you have a lot of those signs predominantly in your chart, or they do, vice versa. Or it could have something to do with the general astrology at this time, or even collective unconscious of just a lot of energy that's going on around the world, okay? Or it means nothing at all, but I wanted to mention it. So when I'm on those particular cards, I'll try to remember to say the zodiac energies that's showing up there too. All right, so moving forward, we're talking about the Hermit, then you have the Two of Swords right side up. You have the Lovers in the right side up position, the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, the Eight of Staves, also known as Eight of Wands, right side up, the Three of Swords in reverse position, the Three of Cups right side up, and the King of Sacred Circles, also known as King of Pentacles, in the right side up position, okay? And then we'll talk about those other cards later after we go through the center. All right, so this, remember, could be energy from the recent past here, but we start off your reading here, Pisces, with this Two of Sacred Circles, also known as Two of Pentacles. And I believe Aquarius had this card in a different place in their reading, but it could be a little bit of some overlap there. If you're interested, always check out the Aquarius reading too, if you want to, because usually if you're, let's say, a sun sign or even a moon sign, Aquarius, then you're going to have a lot of placements in the next zodiac sign following Aquarius, so that would be Pisces, right? And then you'd also maybe have a lot of placements in Capricorn, okay? So just as an example. But anyway, getting back to the meaning of this card, right, and this energy here. So this is a juggling energy about somebody, dealing with some priorities here and trying to manifest more abundance in their life, whether it's money, health, relationships, it's love, creativity, business, or all those things, right? It's a 2 of sacred circles or 2 of pentacles. It's not a 10 or even a 6 of pentacles or 6 of sacred circles. So it's a 2, right? But it is movement, right? It might not be really fast movement, but it is slowly, getting, it has that energy of wanting to go up, of wanting to increase, right? And so what we see in this particular deck is the back of this Native American man's head, right? And he is trying to manifest the spirit of this bear, okay? So the bear not only represents, power and courage and strength and taking up space, right? We think of a huge bear as a big animal, but also the metaphor of being able to hibernate and as also a metaphor of being able to withstand like a difficult storm or the winter, right? But again, it could just be a metaphor. So when we're talking about money, about love, about resources, creativity, business, what have you, right? The bear could bring about this energy of like, let me save some for the times where I might need it more and I don't see it, right? So it's about putting things aside, and how do I do that? How do I make my priorities help me put stuff aside while I'm also manifesting more things or more abundance in all forms of your life, okay? So this could be your energy here, Pisces, in a little bit of that last 2 weeks of March or last 2 weeks of March or so. And it could also be an energy of somebody around you, possibly. But it's not a bad energy to start there. Now, before we go forward to your second card, my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here in relation to that 2 of sacred circles, right? So it's kind of giving us more background information about perhaps why, there is this energy of the 2 of sacred circles or 2 of pentacles. So we go back to the past, the way back past, whatever that means for you, right? So that could be, again, a couple of days ago, a couple weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, so what we have on the top and the bottom of your other deck here is the King of Wands in the right side up position on the top, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles in the right side up position on the bottom. Okay, so it's basically saying here, and I'll hold it up with your first card too, because that's why we were talking about it. But it was basically saying here, Pisces, that in the way back past, there could have been this person or this energy around you or around your environment, or what this is the same thing, I guess, but it was like an energy of somebody who was in a position of authority or a leader in some way, or they just displayed a lot of confidence and they were in their own power in some way, perhaps also had a lot of support around them. But what's really cool with the King of Wands, and usually most decks, tarot decks, is that you'll see a little chameleon figure, and in this one you do see it at the top in the background of his throne, and then you also see a little lion. Okay, so some fiery energy, right? So it would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius if we had to name it, right? Perhaps. But it is also, the chameleon talks about being able to adapt to different environments, right? So the chameleon will literally change its colors depending on which predators are around them in those different environments, right? So they can blend in. So in the past here, Pisces, somebody was able perhaps to be more versatile with different people, different situations. They could have also later on in their life, even if it's not necessarily the age that we're talking about, it's a maturity level, right? This king is older, he's got gray hair. So it's almost talking about, if we're talking about fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and I say this because I'm a sun sign Sagittarius, is that sometimes we have a tendency, if something's bothering us, to be, more explosive, like pushing it down to the point where then explodes. And you see that with the volcano really small in the background there. But this King of Wands has learned to master that, right? Because he can't be a king or a leader if he's just like exploding off the handle randomly, right? So he's used his, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. He's learned how to channel his emotions, his fiery energy, his passion, his creativity, all those things, right? To to be more quiet and come at a certain time and around certain places and people, right? Because if you are a leader or in a position of authority, or even just wanting to present yourself in a certain way as being confident, right? You're not going to show everybody what's going on with you, right? You're going to have a little bit of privacy and only show like a select few, okay? But regardless here, Pisces, if this is your energy or someone around you, right? When we put it together with the Seven of Pentacles in the right side up position, you could say that this is like the boss over here, the King of Wands, and this is the worker with the Seven of Pentacles in the right side up position. So the Seven of Pentacles talks about somebody or an energy analyzing somebody's work ethic, okay? So it could be an energy that in the recent past, you were better at deciding, okay, I've done this, but I still have this amount to do. So analyzing your own work ethic, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just work. It could be a relationship. It could be a creative project. It could be health. It could be whatever, right? But in this card, the Seven of Pentacles, he's got his little basket with his coins, right? With his pentacles, okay? But what we see in the background is that he's selling his fruit so he can make that money, make the coins, but he still has other fruit that he needs to pick. So it's like being honest, right, about somebody's progress with something. So when this shows up with that King of Wands in the way back past in some way in relation to the Two of Sacred Circles and the juggling of the priorities and saving enough for the future, well, that would definitely go really nicely with the Seven of Pentacles, right? Because he knows what he still needs to do. Maybe he's not thinking about saving yet, but he's starting to, again, analyze what's been done, what still needs to be done. And again, doesn't necessarily have to be you, Pisces, analyzing yourself. It can be other people helping analyze you in certain areas of your life, okay? But it doesn't feel, in this placement, it's not in the reverse position. And with your other cards here in your reading, it doesn't feel like in a negative way where somebody is you're not being honest with yourself, right? You have been honest with yourself in the past, or other people have really understood your work ethic or your effort into something honestly and clearly and truly. So this is just like a little extra background information, again, of like where this energy might have come from, or why it's showing up here again in the present energy. Now, moving forward, we get into your second card. We have that Virgo energy, right? The Hermit here is showing up. And so this is a really nice energy, and it's very complementary too with that Seven of Pentacles, because it's all about, sorry, I'm just turning the music up for a second for the dogs. It's all about going inward and having the intuition and the introspection and finding your own answers and trusting your inner guidance system. So if you've been honest with yourself in the past and other people have been honest with you about how much effort you've put into something, then these both are like really complementary to each other. So it's not a bad, thing to see as far as your last 2 weeks of March or so, or even possibly for some your first week or two of April, right? It will be different for everybody. Now, with this introspection and going inward within with the Hermit in the right side up position, then we have also your next card, the Two of Swords in the right side up position. So this is not just like the other two. It's not a go, go, go fast energy. It's a slowing down of energy. This is a Two of Sacred Circles or Two of Pentacles, so they're wanting to rise up, right? They're building towards something. The Hermit is about slowing down, going within, being able to hear the answers from our own guides and ancestors and whatever you want to call it, angels, etc. Okay. And then with the Two of Swords, it's almost like, how do I make this next decision, right? Somebody could be contemplating a decision about something, but what they're really trying to do, and it may have taken some time, or again, like the pace of things have really slowed down, which of course can be frustrating at times, right? But they're trying to possibly integrate their logical mind, right, which is represented in the tarot as the swords, okay, with their heart chakra. Because when you see this card in other decks, her eyes are blindfolded, okay, and she's still holding the two swords across her heart, right? So it's almost like maybe in the way back past here, somebody, Pisces, either you yourself or someone around you, or just an energy in general, maybe they had crossed off their heart, or they're closed off their heart chakra in some way, and then they realized that that wasn't actually helping them make more logical decisions. It was doing the opposite, because you have to work with both of the things together, right? Your heart chakra and your logical mind and your emotions, all the things together. So here I feel like there is the energy of really working towards this, right? Because in this deck too, she's looking towards the water. So the water in the tarot represents our emotions. So maybe in the past she wasn't looking at her emotions, but here she is, okay? So just turn this down. Sorry, one second. All right, now moving forward though, now we are in that time period that could be around April 1st through April 9th or so, right? It will be different for everybody since it is a general reading, it's just a guideline, but we have that Gemini energy coming through with your fourth card, the Lovers, in the right side up position, okay? And this is a really beautiful energy to see because it talks about sacred unions. It talks about, it could be one union or it could be multiple unions. It could be romantic, it could be a work partnership, it could be a union with friends or family, it could be a union of different parts of yourself coming together. But whatever it is, and if it's multiple or just one, right? The main great thing about it is that it is this energy of an equal give and take, and it's a higher vibrational love, okay? So you can have love with friends and family too, and love of yourself too, right? Not just romantic partners, but also it is like they're bringing out the best in each other. So it's a higher vibrational love or frequency, okay? So this is really nice to see. So it could be that in this first 2 weeks of April here, Pisces, you are feeling more support from some type of union here, or multiple unions, right? But that's really nice to see, especially, when we talk about like the beginning of a new month, right? Okay, so in particular too, since we just left Pisces, we just left your season, and we've been in Aries season for some time now. It could also be that when we talk about going from the Two of Swords to then the Lovers, right? Gemini energy. And we were talking about the intellect and the heart and the emotions. Well, when we talk about air energy as far as the zodiac signs, right? That would be Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Okay, so it could also be just as simple as, if it's not a sacred union in some way, or it could be in addition to that, that this air energy is flowing more naturally now because it's in unison, right? So again, maybe you do know or you don't know, but right, Pisces is a water sign. We have the water, the emotions, but then we also have the air energy working, together there. So I see it as some really complementary energy, especially for the new month, right? Okay, so moving forward though, we go to your fifth card here. And this could be in the middle of, let's say, as an example, last week or so. It will be different for everybody. But we have the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, okay? So this speaks about a possible medium-sized communication or medium-sized opportunity from someone, or just from the universe in general, right? But it also talks about emotions in a positive way too, because his cup, just like the water, represents emotions, and it's not tilted over, it's not upside down. He's holding it as he's moving forward. And now this energy, remember that was kind of slow so far in your reading, it started to pick up with the Lovers. And then here, this is really go fast energy too as well. And he's leaving the storm behind in the past, and he's moving to more better weather, right? Calmer waters, right, as they say. But when I say a medium-sized opportunity or communication, right? That could be, as an example, I always say, like, let's say a text message would be a small communication, and then a medium-sized communication would be a phone call or an email, or going from emailing and just doing phone call to then doing Zoom, and then from Zoom going to meet in person, or whatever it is. It's just like the next level, okay? Because he is a prince, or also known as a knight, right? But he's not a page, what would be underneath them. And he's also not a king. So he's right in the middle there. So that's why I usually say the medium thing, okay? But it's just an example. It doesn't have to be, set in stone. But what's really cool here too is, like, when we talk about communication, it could have been, it just already happened or hasn't happened yet, communication that you're ready to give to someone, or someone is going to give to you, or again, a communication or opportunity that you're going to give to someone. You're going to offer someone a job opportunity, or someone's going to offer you a job opportunity, as an example, right? But the main thing is that this is progress. This is forward momentum. It's really good, powerful energy, and good emotional energy too, with the cups here. Now, really exciting when this comes together with your 6th card. They both represent communication. They both represent fast energy, particularly with this 8 of staves or 8 of wands in the right side up position. Okay, so you've got 2 cards really talking about communication here, Pisces, for you. And since we do, I mentioned, right, have Venus has been in Pisces since, what did I say, April 5th or so? Yeah. So this could have something to do with perhaps matters of love, all the different types of love, or even money, higher assets, and stuff like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be. But what is to note in this card, right, is like they're surprised. It came in so fast. These wands, these hunters are throwing to get these birds so they can eat them, as an example, right? They caught them off guard. It was really surprising. It came in really fast. So it doesn't say if it's a good communication or a bad communication, right? Because not all these birds are going to get hit with the wands. Actually, all of them look like they just kind of missed it, right? So it could be a good thing. But it kind of also brings up, perhaps for some, this energy of like flight, or what is it called? I always say it wrong. Fight or flight mode when we talk about stuff from our past, like when we were cavemen and stuff. Okay, so when we were more in the natural world and fighting off predators, and just, more like not in our houses, but like living outside, right? So this, is like a double communication, right, for that first week or so of April. And, I feel, that it is a good thing overall, okay? And it will be different for everybody, of course. But the reason why I say that is because when we get into your next card, we have the 3 of Swords in the reverse position. And this is how you want to see this card, okay? This is talking about no more heartache, no more exhaustion, no more betrayal, no more lower vibrational frequencies, not being in your best self, or someone else not acting in their best self, because it's reversed, okay? So it's almost like whatever this communication that comes in, if it hasn't already come in, or maybe it already did come. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Maybe it already came through, this communication, or it has yet to come through yet, but I really do feel like it will be for the best, because it's like enabling you here, Pisces, or the other person you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation, to let go of any lingering anxiety, worry, overthinking, lower vibrational frequencies, hurt, heartache, pain, betrayal. It's letting all of that go. So I would say that's always a good thing, right? So I think it's good. Now, when we're in this last row, I said this could be where we're at right now, depending on when you view this. But I said the last row here in the center was energy around April 9th today to about April 19th or so. Again, not exact. So it's interesting here too, because you go from the 3 of Swords in the reverse position to another 3, but this time it's right side up, and it's a different minor arcana, of course, but it's like 3, 3 back to back. Okay, so when you put 3 and 3 together, that's 6, right? So it's more balanced energy here too. So possibly had to happen was, again, letting those things go here to now having the Three of Cups right side up. So now having more support, more celebrations perhaps, and more emotional fulfillment in some way, because again, their cups are in the right side up position. Okay, so these two people are coming together to celebrate with the king. So I think that's his children. I think that's Guinevere, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they're coming together to celebrate with their dad, right? And so the details don't matter, but it is that very supportive energy with friends and family or whatever your support system may be, right? To come together and celebrate something, or just to feel more support and helping each other out in some way. So, but it is interesting that they're both threes. So like, again, it's almost like this letting go of all that shit from before, the pain, the heartache, the hurt, the anxiety, worry, overthinking, low vibrational frequencies, even exhaustion, letting all that go paved the way to then be like, okay, I can let in more support. I can give out more support to others, and I can hopefully have some celebratory energy or celebrations here too. So very nice to see. All right. Now moving forward, your last card here, and I believe, I lost my train of thought. I believe that Aquarius had this card too, but it was in a different placement. Okay. So again, maybe find out if you want to check out the Aquarius reading, if you find out what your other placements are, where your Aquarius energy is in your chart. Maybe there's something interesting overlapping there, okay? But what we have for you here, Pisces, you're like, I'm Pisces, I don't care about Aquarius. No, I'm just kidding. But your last card here, what we have is the King of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. And I believe Aquarius had it in reverse, so it's interesting. But anyway, I do lots of shuffling and cutting of the deck in my big fish pond, as I call it. So when these cards come out again, it could also have something to do with the collective unconscious or the astrology of this time period. But this one is in a different position. So putting all that aside, okay, we have, right, you had a prince, okay, over here in the center of your reading in the right side of position. Now we have a king. They're two different minor arcanas. One is cups and one is sacred circles or pentacles, but it is a leveling up, right? So there could be some leveling up happening here for you, Pisces, in the middle of April or even beyond to the end of April, or even into May, right? But it is, that energy is present here for some. Okay, if it's not leveling up in a job, in a relationship, with your health, with your money, it could also be just somebody is being more confident, stepping into their own power here, right? But in this particular deck, when we talk about this older Native American man, right, the King of Sacred Circles, also known as King of Pentacles, he is playing the drum and he is about to pass on some oral traditions to the younger generation, okay? Because what we see in the past is the lightning, and this is actually the lightning from the Tower card in the same deck. So in the recent past, in some way, when this guy was younger, right, as his time throughout being a king or being a leader or just being confident and, you know, sharing his gifts with others, right, he was able to have a spiritual download, a revelation, and enlightenment, something here that he said, okay, now I'm ready to share that with others. And excuse me, and also, hold on. Share that with others, and also, you know, give something to the next generation about how can you take care of the earth. This is what I learned being a man, whatever it is, right? It's just a metaphor, and it doesn't necessarily talk about gender, any of that, right? Just as an example, okay? But he is also very abundant and very supportive because he's a king, just like where was your other king from the way back past? You remember you had the King of Wands right side up, and now in the future you have the King of Sacred Circles. They're both confident. They're both supported. They have people that they delegate their tasks to. They have a lot of responsibility, but there are some crossovers, right? Because they're both kings there, or in that royalty kind of energy. Okay, so when this shows up at the end of the center of your reading here, Pisces, it really could be that now you're ready to level up in some way, some next further step in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life too. But it is for momentum and is progress. And so I see it as some really nice energy here for you. All right. Let's go back for just a second because I got all into the reading and I totally forgot to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. And then after we talk about that, we'll go forward into your tarot confirmation cards that are around here. All right. So when we were talking about your 2 3s, the 3 of Swords in reverse and the 3 of Cups right side up. Remember when I said that this letting go of all that stuff, that's what you want to do, and that's what you're doing here, Pisces, or someone around you or in your environment or energy is doing. Okay. But I forgot to talk about maybe why this is present, why this is happening now. Okay, so when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, this is again energy from the way back past, whatever that means for you. So in the past here, we have the 5 of Cups in the right side up position on the top of your deck, and then we have the Devil in the right side up position as well on the bottom of your deck here, and that's some of that Capricorn energy here. So this is basically saying that in the past, in some way, there was somebody that was just focusing as far as the emotions, negative emotions, or the negative circumstances or things going on in their life. Okay, so here you see the King, and this is actually before the 3 of Cups. This is the same people. Right? Look, they got the same outfits, okay? It's the same king. It's the same Guinevere, another guy. I can't remember his name. Maybe Arthur. I can't remember. Anyway, this is like in the past, somebody was not being able to enjoy the party because they spilled all of their wine. And what they didn't realize is that they needed a perspective change. Or like, hey, your kids, they still have wine, they're going to still help you, right? Just as an example in the card here. Okay, but also when we talked about it with the Devil here and the 3 of Swords in reverse, these cards from the way back past were catalysts for you here, Pisces, or someone around you or energy around you to let all this stuff go, because this is self-sabotaging energy when the Devil shows up, okay? It not only talks about addictions, to all the various things that people can be addicted to, the things, philosophies, viewpoints, lifestyles, right? But the main thing is, and it's hard to see it in this deck, but in other decks, you can see the chains around this man and woman, the loop is open. So it always talks about it's a choice, right? So when you, not necessarily you, Pisces, but someone around you or energy or just people in general, right? When you do something in the Devil energy, it's almost like your animalistic side is out of balance. It's out too much, okay? Something is out of balance when we talk about addictions or being, again, self-sabotaging energy. So it's a choice to, sometimes pick things that, or people or situations or energy that is going to actually make you lose in the long run because maybe we're scared or not, facing other things. So it's really just a card talking about being out of balance, okay? And the same thing here with the 5 of Cups in the right side up position. It was out of balance. It's only focusing on the negative, when really there's negative and positive all the time in all things, okay? But here somebody really learned this lesson and they use this catalyst energy from the past to now in the future let go of the hurt, anxiety, pain, heartache, exhaustion, lower vibrational frequency. All right, so I just wanted to mention that real quickly because I kind of forgot to talk about it when we were on that particular card. But as we know, you go from the 3 of Swords to the 3 of Cups, the same characters. You see, well, not those two. Damn it, I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. You see now that they are now supporting each other more and they're ready to get back into their wine and have celebrations. Okay, so that's very nice to see. And I haven't seen that in a reading with those particular cards like that in some time. And then also remember you had the King of Sacred Circles right set up, so that was also very positive. So now with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your tarot confirmation cards. Excuse me. Sorry, 1 second here. So I'll go ahead and call them out in order and then we'll go from there. Sorry. My allergies. Okay. So we have as your tarot confirmation cards, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. We have the moon in the right side up position. That's some Pisces energy. That's you there. And then we also have the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. And you had an additional card that really wanted to come out, so I went ahead and took it for you here, Pisces. Normally I only do 4 tarot confirmation cards, but you had a 5th one come out, so I took it. The spirit really wanted it. So your 5th tarot confirmation card is the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position. So now I've called them out, we'll go in order here, okay? So these first 2 confirmation cards right here is energy from the recent past, whatever that means for you. And then the last 3 here are more future, current, present energies, okay? So the other thing too, I wanted to briefly mention here, Pisces, or even other people who aren't necessarily a Pisces, but they're watching just to get the downloads about the Pisces energy in general, is that I believe I talked about the Venus and Pisces energy in more detail on my channel here for the astrology notes for this time period. So if you want to, you can definitely check that out. And I talk about that was weird. Sorry, commercial. I talk about the Venus and Pisces energy and what that means as far as Neptune and Pisces energy and all that stuff with love and money and stuff. So I won't get into it here because it'll take too long and take away from your reading. But if you're interested, check out the astrology notes, my other video here on my channel. Okay, I'm going to get my words out somehow. Okay. So your first confirmation card from the recent past, right, is this Knight of Swords in the reverse position. This is really interesting because it's a knight, right? So it is also a card talking about communication, okay? Even though it's not the Prince of Cups like you had in the center here, it's the knight. Knights and princes are the same thing, and then this time it's the sword, the Knight of Swords, okay? But it is... excuse me, it is like, oh my gosh, sorry. I keep getting these tickles in my throat from the allergy season. It is basically talking about in the recent past here in some way, Pisces, somebody was mentally confused about something or having more anxiety, worry around possibly a communication or opportunity that didn't come through at all, was put on hold, right? Didn't come through, was put on hold, or it wasn't well received because it's in the reverse position here, okay? So anytime when the swords in the tarot are reversed, it would be that anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in your head about something around a communication that was, again, either put on hold or wasn't well received in some way. Or maybe it just was straight up not the right time, right? Because remember, you have the Prince of Cups over here in the center. So maybe it didn't come through in the recent past because it just simply wasn't the right time in some way. But since this is a confirmation card, though, it's going to come in here and confirm the Two of Sacred Circles right side up, the Lovers in the right side up position, and the Three of Swords in the reverse position, okay? So these are all really great positive cards that it's confirming. So you could say in that sense that these are all, or that it acted as a catalyst for all of these cards, okay? So we'll go one by one here. But yeah, if there was, again, some type of opportunity or communication that didn't come through or wasn't well received or wasn't understood and just, straight up didn't happen, maybe that forced someone here, you yourself, Pisces, or another person to be like, okay, what can I save for the future? How can I work on my resources, my energy, my money, my love, my health, all those things? How can I prepare for the future? And be more self-reliant, right? That's also what the bear symbol could be about as well, right? I mean, we all need support, but how can I also have that layaway stash for later, and then also at the same time still be able to manifest. Because the other thing I forgot to say too in this deck is that when you put this Two of Sacred Circles on the side, you have the figure 8 here, the infinity symbol. Which you see in the Magician card, which is about manifestation, okay? So maybe in the recent past, this energy that wasn't maybe so much fun, it really helped you or another person or energy in general to now get these things, in motion, okay? And then also too, maybe it acted as a catalyst to be like, okay, well, what are my other supportive, higher vibrational unions about here, okay? How can I bring out the best at work with my coworkers? How can I bring out the best with my friends and family? And then, of course, how can I bring out the best with my romantic partner, right? All those things here could definitely have been at play, okay? So when we see it too, we kind of already... well, we didn't really fully say it, but it's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier in some way. When it is confirming the Three of Swords in the reverse position, here, they both are reversed. Like this reversal is not so good. This one is good, right? Not all reversals are bad in the tarot. Some people don't even read reversals, but I do. So, that's cool. Whatever people decide. There's lots of different ways to do things, of course, right? But, here it's basically talking about, again, if there was this communication or opportunity from the recent past that didn't come through, that caused more mental anxiety, worry, overthinking, maybe now in the future, more present energies, you're like, I'm not going back to that the way it was in the past. I'm going to let all that stuff go. I'm going to work on my health. I'm not going to be exhausted. I'm going to bring out the best again in myself and others, all that stuff, okay? So let's keep going forward though. And then we have here your second tarot confirmation card, the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. And I just realized here, Pisces, you have 2 3s and 2 7s. So interesting. If you're into numerology, you could definitely check that out. But you didn't have any repeating cards in your reading this time, but you do have like some repeating numbers. So here's your other 7, right? The 7 of Pentacles from the way back past, and now the recent past, you have the 7 of Cups in the reverse position. So anyway, what is this talking about, right? So this is actually how you want to see this card in the reverse position as well, right? A good reversal. So this is about an energy of, in the recent past here, somebody, as far as their emotions or emotional energy in general, was like, I don't want to just wallow in all the different options and opportunities I could have, right? If it was right side up, there's a different thing in every cup. And he's like, oh my God, which decision do I make? Okay. Here in the reverse position, someone has already made that decision. They're coming out of the dark night of the soul energy. They've learned something more about themselves, about their emotions. When we talk about the cups cards in general, right, whether they're right side up or reverse, it's like, what makes me emotionally content, fulfilled, happy? What are my emotional priorities, boundaries, all those things? So here in the recent past, somebody made that decision to take just one of those cups and to learn more about themselves, okay? So when this energy from the recent past comes in here, it's confirming the Hermit in the right side up position, the, excuse me, the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, and the Three of Cups in the right side up position. These are all really good cards, right? This is all for momentum and progress. This could be more slower progress, we could say, but these two are, a little bit faster progress, but they're all progress, right? So we'll break it down one by one. And I just thought about it here too. I forgot to count how many minor arcanas we have in each category, because that can always be an underlying theme to your reading as well. So, I'm like, damn, you guys have a lot of cups. And then I'm like, okay, let's find out. How many cups cards do we have? We have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, so 4 cups. Sometimes I have to write this down because I'm scatterbrained. Okay, I'm gonna do it right here on the paper. 4 cups. How many swords do we have? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 swords. Okay, 3 swords. How many wands? 1, 2, 3. 3 wands. How many pentacles do we have? 1, 2, 3. Right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so wow, you have even more of a tie than Aquarius had. I think Aquarius had a tie between swords and pentacles, and you kind of have three ties. The ties are threes. Oh my God, all the threes. So yeah, so you have like, what is she talking about? You have 3 swords, you have 3 wands, and you have 3 pentacles. So that could mean another underlying theme for your reading here is about emotions, value, money, abundance, wealth, and wands are about our defense system, right? So that could be basically our defense is too high, where we're blocking our abundance, our defense is too low, where we're being taken advantage of and seen as vulnerable. But also, when we talk about health, the wands can be about our immune defenses, our immune system. But it's like you have all the tie of all the major arcanas are 3, 3, 3, but then you also have still cups is your majority at 4. So I don't even know if I would count those ties. I would actually just say the underlying theme here, as far as the cups, is about our emotions. So it could be emotionally, what do I value? How are my emotions valued by others? How do I emotionally value other people's emotions? These are examples, right? How do I emotionally value my defenses? How do other people emotionally value my defenses? How do I emotionally value or give importance to my logical mind, my intellect? Okay, the swords, right? And how does somebody else do that to me, vice versa? And what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I haven't seen that in a reading in quite some time either. Again, maybe it has some tie over with the Venus in Pisces right now. So I would definitely look into that. I know a lot of other astrologers have talked about it and tarot people here on YouTube, but just ask yourself, check in with yourself. How am I feeling right now during this Venus in Pisces? Since if you're a sun sign Pisces or moon sign or rising Pisces, or even if you're not, just in general, check in with yourself and maybe look up some of those things we just mentioned. Okay. So anyway, going back to where we were at, I lost my train of thought. Oh, here we are. Okay. I just wanted to count all that stuff real quickly. So we were talking about the 7 of Cups, your other Cups card in reverse, confirming the Hermit, okay? So with this energy from the recent past with the 7 of Cups, with somebody making a decision, being more, in control, or not in control, more in touch, or maybe in control too with their emotions. This definitely leads to that Virgo energy of going within, getting in touch with your intuition. Yes, right on the bell there. And also, your inner guidance system and quieting certain other voices so you can hear your own more clearly. So that's, very nice and definitely complementary and makes sense of each other. And then your other card here that it's confirming too, the Prince of Cups, right side up. So yes, once somebody makes a decision in the recent past, they already did, or you did, or an energy in general in the recent past did, then you can move forward, right, and get on that horse and have forward momentum and progress and say, these are my emotional boundaries. This is the cup that I've chosen. Okay, so let's go forward now. What's going to happen? That kind of thing. Okay. And then here too, with the cups and the cups and the cups. with the Seven of Cups confirming the Three of Cups, right? It's like, okay, now I can have more support from other people, but also give support back to them, and I can also get more into the emotions don't always have to be bad, right? There's good emotions too. So enjoying the good emotions as well, and celebratory energy and all of that. All right. Now, moving forward, we're going into now these three last confirmation cards are more future, current, present energies, right? So we have, and I said the moon card earlier, but that is not the moon card. Sorry, y'all. That is the high priestess card. This is a newer deck that I'm working with, and sometimes it just throws me off. So this is the high priestess, not the moon. Okay, the moon is on her necklace. The moon is in the background, or sometimes you see it on her actual crown on her head, but it's just in the background here. So I guess I was focusing on that, and near Pisces, and that's normally if your moon card was here, that would be your official card, right? But this is the high priestess, but it's okay. It's still a good card, right? And they are complementary too. So, but I always talk about the high priestess with the hermit energy. They're so similar. They both talk about intuition, okay, trusting your inner guidance system, all those things. Also seeing the duality in life, that the light and dark, the positive and negative in all things, with these columns behind her head. It also talks about the occult. It talks about knowledge of self, secret knowledge. Okay, so when this high priestess card shows up here in the more future, current, present energies in the right side up position, it's beautiful to see, because why wouldn't you want more intuition, right? Why wouldn't you want more knowledge of self? I say bring it, okay? And so when she comes in here, this high priestess, she's going to be confirming the Two of Swords right side up, the Eight of Wands or Eight of Staves in the right side up position, and then also the King of Sacred Circles in the right side up position. So here she was a catalyst, because I look at all of these cards with the rest of your other cards here that showed up in your reading as a really positive placement and positive in general. Okay, so we'll break it down one by one here. So when this high priestess comes in here and is confirming the Two of Swords right side up, it's like, yes, she's looking at the water, which is the emotions, right? She's going to be like, what is my intuition telling me? What is my inner guidance system telling me? If I had what do they call it? An autobiography, a book of self. What is it going to say? What would my younger self tell me? What would my older self tell me? Okay, just as an example, right? So this is definitely complementary energy here. So yes, how can I use my intellect together with my intuition, the high priestess energy, my heart chakra? How can I open up both of them and have them work together in unison here? All right. And then also, when we talk about intuition, when we talk about your gut reaction to things, your inner guidance system, whatever you want to call it, it again it's your body's way of communicating with you on a really deep level, right? So if you eat something bad and the food was spoiled or whatever, you're going to know, okay, your body's going to tell you, hey, something's not right with this food, right? The same way here, okay, when your communication from your intuition comes in, it's like, how does that make me feel? Even if it's good or bad, if it's surprising, it comes out of nowhere, right? With the Eight of Staves here. Is it going to put me in the fight or flight mode? Am I going to start fighting and become defensive? Or am I going to run away? Or am I going to stand my ground? Okay, all those things, excuse me, come into play here as well. And then when this high priestess is confirming the King of Sacred Circles right side up, right? It's like, okay, he, remember from the past, had that lightning from the tower. He got the spiritual download. He got the revelations. He got the more information, the insight, finally seeing all the pieces to the puzzle, how they go together. Now he wants to pass it on to the younger generation here. Okay, but he wouldn't have been able to do that if he wasn't using his intuition as well, if he wasn't, you know, having the book of self open and trying to be open to those things coming through. Okay. Oops. All right. That one just flipped over. I was like, we're done talking about that. Okay. Thank you, Cleo. Hush. All right. Almost done here. Hold on, guys. Let me put some music because always trying to talk if you hear some little noise in the hallway. Okay. Right by the stairs, guys. So sorry. Now moving forward, I know we're getting late on time, but it's all divine timing, as they say. So your fourth tarot confirmation card is the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. Another great reversal card, okay? You don't want to be fighting and bleeding and being stabbed, right? So it's reversed. So that's a good thing. So again, much like the Three of Swords in reverse that you had in the center here, letting go of anxiety, worry, overthinking, betrayal, heartache, pain, letting go of being exhausted, lower vibrational frequencies, not being in your best self or other people or everybody or the energy, letting all that go. So when we do these last three confirmation cards, it's going to be confirming the same ones we just did, maybe a little bit differently or just reiterating the same thing. So it could be double confirmation, but it's coming in here, this Ten of Swords in reverse, and it's confirming the Two of Swords right side up, the Eight of Staves right side up, and the King of Sacred Circles right side up. So here it was definitely a catalyst again to all these great placements and great cards. Okay, so here, right, it's like if this woman in the Two of Swords didn't decide to let all this stuff go, then she could never face her emotions. Okay, so when we talk about in the tarot, anytime the swords or the wands cards are right side up or reverse, it is either a tool or a weapon, right? So here in the past, it was a weapon. Okay, the logical mind was perhaps a weapon in some way. Or it wasn't, it was too much up in your head, right? Or somebody else's or whatever, right, have you. But here with the Two of Swords and also the Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like now I want to use it as a tool. I want to use my mind with my heart chakra, with my emotions and all those things, okay? So it really does show general healing when you see the Ten of Swords in reverse. So there's lots of healing that could be possible for this time period for you here, Pisces, for, you know, the maybe all of April, perhaps, right? We're just talking about from March 19th through April 19th, but it could be beyond, right? So this is great to see. So when it comes together, that's Ten of Swords and all that healing energy in reverse with that Eight of Staves, it's like, yes, maybe the communication that comes in or the opportunity that comes in, maybe it's really welcomed because there's been a lot of deep healing going on here for somebody or for you yourself and others, right? But it's beautiful, right? So what do they say? Like, in order for the wound to heal, it has to hurt first, right? So maybe in the past there was a lot of what's the way to say it? A lot of processing and understanding and surrendering to the pain. And now we're possibly in that vibe of more of healing. And now it's closing up. The wound isn't exposed and bleeding. It's not infected anymore. Now it's closing up and it's, you know, finally going to go back to the healthy stage, right? So then here, when that Ten of Swords in reverse is confirming the King of Sacred Circles right side up, it's like, yes, now I'm ready to step into my power to be a leader or just be more confident in general, right? I'm ready to level up in some area of my life to the next stage in some way. And I'm ready to receive those spiritual downloads, revelations, enlightenment, getting all the pieces to the puzzle, etc. All right. Now your last confirmation card here is the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. Remember I said you got one extra card this time here. Guys, no, come here. Shh. Come here. Cleo, no. Come here. No. Sorry, what was I saying? Yes, the Nine of Wands in the reverse position. This is also future, current, present energies, and you got an extra one here because you're special Pisces, I guess. So this is great. Another great reversal. I feel like I should put that. I'm going to put that in your title too. I'm going to be like, you got 4 major arcanas and lots of great reversals. I'm going to put that in there. So we see. Come here. No. When we see this Nine of Wands in the reverse position in the more future, current, present energies, this is how you want to see it, right? Because before, she's being really defensive. She's like, I hurt myself. I have to prepare for battle. She's putting all these wands up all around her. Her arm is broken, whatever, right? But here, it's letting go of that and coming out of that, okay? So that's what you want to see, right? When we were saying before, in the way back past, maybe somebody's defenses were too high in some way. Maybe if we're talking about health, somebody was sick in some way in the past, and now they're coming out of that. Again, the wound, the healing, all that comes together here too. It's like kind of very similar. So yeah, I would just say that when it comes in here and confirms the Two of Swords right side up, the Eight of Staves right side up, and that King of Sacred Circles right side up, that the more healing that is going on here, it's for the better to, again, have the heart chakra and crown chakra working in unison together. I'm so sorry. Hold on, guys. Hermes, come here. No, come here. No. I don't care if there's a package or what. No. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come sit. Get your chicken. Where's your chicken? Get your chicken. Sorry, guys. He's got his chicken toy. It's his favorite. All right. Anyway. Oh my God, I'm going to finish this reading. I'm like, yes. So the more that we have the healing, right? And letting go of the defenses and healing the health and the mind and the heart and all those things, then we can step into higher power or elevate up in some way, so area of our life or multiple areas of our life. Then we can also welcome in communication, whether it's good or bad, and just, embrace it, right? So that is what I have for you regarding the tarot, and hopefully you got something from it there. But before you go, real quickly, we have to do your oracle cards too. All right. So your first oracle card for this time period, whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends and family, or even self-love, or all the above, your oracle message is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Okay, so that's really cute. So yeah, like I said, you can apply it to all forms of love. So the more that you visualize and have affirmations about the kind of love relationship you want, whether it's romantic, platonic, or even self-love, the closer you will get to getting there. Okay, clearly set up your goals and make like your vision boards and what have you. All right. Now your last oracle card here is your Rumi oracle card for this time period. So Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet, and Elena Fairchild, who made this oracle deck, partnered some of his poetry together with this artist's work and made these really pretty oracle cards. So your oracle card for this time period is card number 27. I believe someone else, another zodiac sign, got it for this time period, but I can't remember. Anyway, the card is the angel Razabar. And you see this woman here holding some flowers, I believe, and then just some really pretty colors and abstract stuff going on here. So I'll go ahead and read this quick poem, and then there's like a short little meditation that goes along with it, but it's not too long. So here we go. All right. The angel Razabar. Tell me the truth, I ask, love. What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the reoccurring joy of living. The master speaks of a den of riches where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the master. The devoted ones look but cannot see them. Where are these precious jewels, they cried, for we cannot find them anywhere. The master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly, in service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul that does not lie lost, nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby radiant with the joy of living. So yeah, that's beautiful. And I know, it basically, there was somewhere in the reading here, I can't remember, but there's one sentence here that's not part of the meditation, but it says, this oracle card brings special messages of reassurance that you're making progress and are indeed, oh my God, and are indeed on the right path. So let it unfold naturally. So yeah, I mean, I felt like when you had Pisces, real quickly, again, that 3 of Swords in reverse and more future present energies in that last third row, and then in the past you had the 5 of Cups, and it was like the same characters. I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong card again. The 3 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. It was like the same characters. That felt like reassurance for me. And so that, it never really happened like that before in a reading where, all tarot cards are telling a story. If you lay them out in order, they tell the story more clearly and you can see the characters and match their outfits and all that shit, if you want to say it like that. But it rarely happens like that in a reading. So for me, that was definitely like a moment of reassurance that you're definitely on the right path. So anyway, going back to this card real quickly, here is the meditation. If you want to get into the energy of the angel of Razabar, or the angel Razabar. Okay, so it says, say aloud the following. I am blessed to serve the great all-loving silence through the presence of divine joy, grace, and radiant compassion, through the master that loves me without condition, and the blessed assistance of the angel Razabar who loves me unconditionally. I accept all help and I offer myself completely in service to life, to being, to assist humanity in a practical way according to the graces and talents I have been given. So be it. And then it says, if you can comfortably place your forehead on the floor, okay, so almost like yoga kind of thing, bowing to the earth to do so, welcoming the earth. Rest there for several moments, and then when you have finished, you have done your sacred honoring ritual. So yeah, that's really pretty. So hopefully you got something from that. And there's way more that I don't read about each of these oracle cards, so you can always look it up too online. The Elena Fairchild, Rumi, or Remy oracle deck, depending on how you pronounce it. And you can look up card number 27. But that is your reading here, dear Pisces. And again, hopefully there was something that resonated here for you. So always feel free to let me know in the comments down below, but you don't have to, of course. And again, if you want to see a close-up of all the cards, I will be taking a picture and posting it shortly online. So you can click in the description box below to follow the instructions to get to my Facebook are there, okay? So anyway, thank you guys so much for your energy and your support, for your likes and your subscriptions, and your sharing of the video. It's all great free ways to help support the channel. So if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right in the corner there, and just make sure it's blue and it's active, and I'll tell you when I put out new videos. So anyway, you guys take care, and I will see you guys later. All right, bye.